share with you some statistics that are very important and that are going to show us why these habits are really important to uh, apply. I mean, to teach them to our kids, right? So the first one is that bullying have increased by 36% in the United States between 2014 and 2019. And bullying most of the time happens to the kids that are in middle school, and they consider suicide, committed suicide, as a solution for bullying. And another statistic is the Sarah Conrad. She has research of an Institute of Social Research, and she said that college have shown 40% less empathy, being less empathetic, and 58% more narcissistic than the previous 20 to 30 years ago, which for me is, when I wrote that, I was like a craziness, right? Because nowadays is the social media and kids are all the time taking selfies. So it's more like a pandemic of being a narcissist and being just within themselves, right? And that has been characterized by an exaggerated sense of their own gift and their expectation that others will like them by the things that they post, but not by who they really are. Another statistic that I found was that there is a high record. So 50% of Americans think that the state of moral values in the United States, they think that 50% of them think that is poor. Another 30% think that is only fair. Other percentage, 1% thinks that is good. And no, the 1% is excellent. And another 12% think that the values in America are just good. Then we have another statistic that was the one that I was commenting when Gabby was talking, I think, that 20% of Americans aged from 18 and older suffer from a diagnosable mental disorder in a given year. That means that one of every 4 adults are more likely to present mental disorder. So when we go to what are those 9 habits? So we have the first one, emotional literacy, which is basically teaching our kids to identify and express their emotion, to help them understand that emotion exists, and they are no good and they are no bad. But we can recognize them in others through the body language, through the tone of the voice and the facial expressions, so they can tell when somebody else is feeling good or no. And how can we build emotional literacy in kids? By being present, by having face-to-face connection, eating together, talking about how do they feel during the day, teaching to talk about their feelings, because then it will be easier for them to talk, to share their feelings when they're passing through a bad moment. I read long time ago, no, I saw a documentary of guys, right? How the guys are built. And for example, in Latin American culture, where most of adults tells the kids do not cry, kids are strong, to the males one, right? So men are more likely to not share their feelings. And the rate of suicide in men is higher than in females because of that. Because we are not communicating kids, women and men, that they have the right to share their feelings and that it's okay to share their feelings. Now, the second one is build moral identity. It plays a very important role in empathy, and it develops of their own ethical codes, belief and values that will affect what they think and how the kids will behave. And then how we help kids to build moral identity, having conversation with them about what is good, what is wrong, what do they behave the way that they behave, what they think, and what they believe and why they believe that. Creating like a family saying, for example, like we are kind, we are not rude. We act from love, not from fear. We are helpful, not hurtful. Identifying what are the values of this family and why they are so important, and what things we can improve as a family, right? Because sometimes we have to ask our kids. Sometimes we might think that we're doing everything right, right? But oh, do you think that is something that I can improve as a parent, as a father, as a mother? And we might be surprised. Oh, mom, I don't like when you yell, when you get mad. Or I don't like when you get in bad mood and you do gesture like this. It made me feel in that way. But if we don't ask them, how will know what we're doing right or no? They have the right to also say, hey, mom, I would like that you maybe hug me more, right? So another thing is being aware of what we think and the way that we behave, because as the Kitty said before, kids are like kind of sponge, right? And they're going to imitate everything that we say, everything that we do. So let's become that role model that we want to see them in the future. I mean, the adult that we want to see them in the future, right? We want healthy adults. We want respectful adults. Let's behave like that so we can copy us and then become like that. The third one is different perspective. Teaching about different perspective, why this is important. Because it will help the kid to understand others, right? How do they feel? Why they think in the way that they think is again, making them see that nobody is right, nobody is wrong, that everyone have different opinion, and it's okay, agree to disagree, right? And we can teach, and it doesn't matter the age. It's like, oh, but let's see why your sister's thinking this way. And now let's see why you're thinking in this way and what makes you believe in that. And of course, when it's something that we see that is wrong, right, we put an example, like a dissociate them from the situation and see them in perspective. Now, how we can teach them to see different perspective, right? By putting the kids in someone else's shoes, right? For example, when you're reading a story and something happened to the character, right?
When Rashmi talked, I'm sorry she had to leave. When Rashmi talked, she said there's 15% of children in India.
Gabi, can you mute yourself?
I had a look, and it's interesting. And
Gabi,
I'm from Germany too, like Matt, and we have a very strict school system. But interestingly,
it's not Gabi. It's actually the videos playing, the YouTube video playing. Is someone else.
Oh, that's me. Hang on.
Is 5.
Oh. Okay.
I just got a notice to this thing. Hang on.
13 and 18.
Can somebody mute? I don't know, whoever, Mike.
Me. Sorry.
Thank you. So I lost track of my thought. Okay, I was saying, how can we help them to build different perspective, right? When you're reading a story to a kid, ask them, and something happened to the main character, something bad. How would you feel if that happened to you, right? Or if somebody do something to the main character, how would you feel if that happened to you? How would you react to that? What would you do? Or since something happy happens too, right? Like how would you feel if this happened to you, right? So you made them put themselves in somebody's shoes through stories, and also by watching movies, audiovisual material, when they watch games, right? Sports, like how do you feel that the team that win feels? How do you think the team that lost feel? Right, so they can see there are people that can win and they can lose and they can have different feelings, and when you made them be in those shoes, they will be more empathetic to don't be rude when somebody loses, because most of the kids, when somebody wins and the other, oh, we win, and the other one feels bad when they lose, right? So it's when we show an example like that and putting themselves in those examples, then they will be more likely to don't pointing at people when they lose and be more like a caring, oh, it's okay, we're just playing, or something like that. Then stretch moral imagination. What does that mean? To envision different possible solutions to solve an ethical challenge, and to put into action the best ideas that are beneficial to others. So some philosophers and writers have said that there is something about experiencing beauty that causes us to move beyond of our own interests and focus on helping others. So how can we embody this? This again by reading books, watching movies, telling a story of our life, our family, our community that are related to moral ethics. For example, seeing scenes where people make sacrifices for others, where they witness or hear about selfless or heroic acts. So, for example, yesterday I was watching a TV show on Netflix. It's called the Thai Cave Rescue. I haven't finished it, but I have learned so much through that story that I think that is a must watch for anybody of every age, because it teaches you about kindness, about resilience, about don't give up, about seeing different perspectives, seeing different solutions. So those kind of things will help a kid to stretch the moral imagination and also different perspectives. Then we have self-regulation, right? So self-regulation with mindfulness practice. So this promotes self-awareness, preventing kids from being involved in bad situations like fight with other kids. So they will think before they act out. If kids don't know how to manage their emotions, their empathy will be jeopardized, because if they are affected by someone else's pain, right, they might shut down and they won't be able to think clearly to help other kids. So there are simple exercises that we can teach them to self-regulate, like breathing exercising, right? Like a balloon breathing exercise, or sometimes you grab a straw. I don't know, straw have many names in different countries, but straw with water. So you breathe and you breathe out and you make bubbles when the water goes out, or you grab a piece of paper. So breathe in and then breathe out by moving the paper. Visualizing, exercising, right? Like go to your safer place, or go to your amazing place, go to your dream garden or palace or castle, whatever that make them like a create things in their mind. The warrior pose, right? Or superhero pose that will bring confidence and concentration to the kids, right? That is a pose that scientifically have been proved to bring more self-confidence and empowerment to people, and to be more secure of whatever they're gonna do after. Sound meditation, right? That brings curiosity, like listening to different kind of sounds, like, oh, what is that? And trying to imagine different sounds. Tasting their food to appreciate life, right? Listen to different kind of music to listen up. Exercising, meditation. There's a bunch of things to help in that area. Then we have kindness. When we teach a kid to be kind, the kid will be more friendly, generous, and help others, right? So how we develop kindness in a kid? By practicing it. So help teaching the kids to open the door for others, say hi with a smile, call their friends when they feel bad, doing good things for others without expecting anything back, right? Which sometimes nowadays in society, I was living in LA. I'm not saying everybody, but there are a lot of people in LA that if you don't have anything to give them back, they don't want to be your friend. And that is sad. So it's more like coming from the heart, every action that they do, and why they see you doing that acts of kindness, they will be more willing to do it too, because you want to be their model. And when you see them doing a kindness act, you must celebrate it and tell them how good they make you feel, how proud they make you feel when they act in that way. Then we have teamwork. Teamwork and diverse perspective. So that will help them to communicate better, to collaborate with others, to share with others, and that will increase their social skills and self-confidence. So what can we do to enhance teamwork? So we can make kids work with other kids of different kind of kids, different ethnicities, different ages. Talk about history, right? How diversity have changed. Talk about the slave times, right? And how that everything have been changing through years, and teach them to respect other people, no matter their age, no matter their background, no matter their social status, because we are all human beings, right? And then as number 8 is moral courage. Is basically teaching our kids the importance of speaking up, stepping in and helping others. Thousands of kids are afraid of going to school because of bullying. And studies show that when a kid intervenes, bullying stops by 10 seconds, right? But also, we have to teach kids the difference between tattling and reporting, right? Tattling means that you're telling an adult a mouse-sized problem to get someone in trouble. And reporting means that you're telling an adult an elephant-sized problem to get someone out of problem, right? So, or out of a trouble. So even if they don't intervene when the bullying is happening, they can help to console the victim after the fact, you know? So that is creating kids are more empathetic. Maybe they don't get involved because sometimes they can be hurt by the bullied person, right? But they can go and report the situation, or they can console the victim and no leave them, ignore and run away. And then the victim is when they feel so they don't feel that they have a support system. And those kids that have been bullied, they, if they don't have a good communication with their parents, right, and they haven't been taught to share their feelings, those are the kids that more likely think suicide has an alternative to get rid of that problem, because they don't know what to do. So teaching the kids about courage also can be through giving them tips in life, right? Sometimes kids, they like a little girl and they're like, oh no, I'm afraid to tell them I like, that I want to play with them. So you can tell them, just go and ask. You won't lose anything, right? It's gonna be just 20 seconds that you will ask, and then you will see what happened. The more likely thing is that they will say yes, right? So when we encourage them to get out of their comfort zone, right, they will discover their inner strength and they will get confidence. So we have to teach the kid to to get out of the comfort zone even when they are little, because when we're adult, right, now that we're learning about all these tools in coaching and CBT and all of that, then is when we learn to get out of our comfort zone. And then it's more difficult being an adult when we have all this year behaving in a certain way, that if you learn that since you are a kid, imagine that kid will fly when they are an adult. They won't pass through those troubles. Then the last one, but no most important, is don't underestimate your kids to be a kindness leader. And there have been a lot of kids around the world that have been helping to make this world a better place. And one story that caught my attention was this kid, Hannah Taylor, and she have the foundation called the Lady Bug Foundation. And this girl, when she was 5 years old, she saw a homeless taking food out of a trash can, and that impacted her life. And for the next year, she was asking their parents, like, why could just everyone share what they have with the homeless so we can end homeless? And 1 year later after that, she made this foundation where her hope was to cure homeless. And then when she was 8 years old, she was able to raise $3 million to fight homeless. So this is like her plan when she created the foundation. And this is really sweet. So I put it here so I will read it for you guys. Teach people that homeless people are just like you and me. They just need us to love them and care for them. to teach everyone to treat homeless people like family, because if you do that, you will love them in all right ways, and you will treat them in all the right ways, and care for them in all the right ways. Teach people that no one should ever eat from a garbage can or live without a bed or a home, and to let them know that there are people who have to because they have no choice. To ask every person who will listen to help however they can to make life for homeless people better. And 5, to teach people that homeless is not sad if you help. So I also wanted to share with you guys a little video where Hannah talks, because it's so impressive, her story. How can I do to share? Give me a second. I don't know how to share my page from YouTube. My desktop, okay. Am I sharing now? No. Am I sharing now? Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes.
I've thought about you a lot, Annie. You're a good person.
Thank
Make
you.
me happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody should have a place to sleep at night. You know, and Hannah said it best. You know, no one should have to sleep on a grate, in a dumpster, what have you. You know, and it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter if you're on an addiction, whatever it may be. That can be overcome with the right help. You know, this can be averted. I guess you can say Hannah started it, and that's cool. Thank you. Yes, you did. You woke something in here. It's kind of cool. You know? Always good to see you, Hannah. Always.
Stay with me.
Yes. Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Peter.
She's got something. Happy Valentine's Day. How come you love them? I love them because they're the same as us and they need our love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so easy loving them because they're so nice.
How you doing, Hannah?
I don't understand why they think maybe homeless people don't look as good as them, they don't smell as good as them, because it doesn't matter. It matters how you act, not what you look like or how you smell. Yesterday I was outside and it was very cold, and I was thinking about my homeless people, and that sort of made me worry. And then today I see them and they're all happy, and that makes me get some hope.
Be scared of not caring anymore. Be scared of getting used to it. Be scared of passing it on the street and becoming desensitized. If anything, that's what you should be scared of. You know, not the people.
Are we listening as a general population? Are we listening as a people?
My first thought about all of this is that
I'm supposed to
we
stop
should just
sharing it, and I don't know why I
treat
keep hearing it.
homeless people better every day, and show them that people care, and show them that.
Sorry about that. I didn't find a word of the video. I have it open in 3 different windows. So pretty much that is my presentation. Thank you to you guys. I hope that you learned some interesting tools. And I would like to ask you if you have consciously teach your kids any of these habits without noticing that you have teaching them, or in which other ways could you teach them to your kids? Takiti.
Yeah, one thing that I did appreciate about your presentation about teaching them about the bullying and how to respond to that, because that is something that is like a lot of kids don't get the option to really, practice and participate in that. So when I thought about that and the way that you presented it, I thought about the fact that you had gave them the opportunity to speak. And that's so important when you think about the bullying. And I like the way you did the confidence with the superhero. I'm Spider-Man, like my grandson said, I'm Spider-Man. And when you give them that sense of confidence, I did. I like that. That was those were some of the things that I had recognized that I had already practiced it. But I did appreciate the presentation to add additional resources that you had utilized to raise my grandchildren with.
Thank you. So anyone else? If Matt.
Yeah, what I really liked was the last part with the video, and that's what I really like about. So Sarah's in the US school as well. So volunteering and caring for the community is actually part of the curriculum. So she has to do a certain amount of hours each semester, so to contribute to something. So at the moment she's teaching English to a younger teenager, for example.
Aww.
But the sole fact of it is part of my life that I care for others and I take care of others. This is so important, and we would need that much more in Europe. So in Germany it's not part of the curriculum, and yeah, I found that really insightful.
Thank you, Matt. Stephen.
So thank you. I think that this is just a wonderful way to grow a child's emotional quotient, right? So we're actually helping them become more self-aware, and in growing in that way. I see Mohib has his hand up. We're getting ready to move into the next section, which is how to develop your growth mindset with Usha. But I'll pass it back to Mohib so that we can finish up this section. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that the emotional literacy part is so important for a child to identify, name, and express, which is a lot of time missed, or not the opportunity is not given for them to see it in that way. So they end up with just few emotions that can be anger or sadness, or that's all. Then the rest is not there. That's good. Thank you, Karen. That was really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that was wonderful, and I do really enjoy the expansion, because we don't know what we're teaching kids, and a lot of it is about trying to help them regulate their emotions, but in some ways we make emotions judged. So part of this is modeling, is actually teaching your kids what it is to express your emotions, how you're feeling, recognizing those feelings, and then ways to release, to deal with, to explain, to manage those emotions. So that little girl had a wonderful set of parents, because they gave her not only the ability to look at a problem and think through it, but to be okay with sadness, right? So she said she wanted to help, she was worrying, and so she had these different things that were going on, but she was doing something about it, and her parents had given her that belief in herself that she could do something to make a difference, and to not be afraid of the people. So that was wonderful. So we're getting ready to move into the next portion, and Usha is our speaker on this one. And what I wanted to share with you is that I was looking for the bio. I just don't see the bio. I'm sorry. But Usha is one of my favorite people. She's so supportive. She runs the groups, and she's always here to say yes and to be supportive and to help, like many of you. Marcella also joins in and does the Sunday events. Brian is stepping in and doing some more events to support the Global Summit. The idea behind all of this is to bring the Global Summits into something similar as far as sharing your voice, getting your message out, and growing. So Usha is